All right, looks like it's live. So, anyways, I bought a new bike yesterday. That was pretty exciting.
So a motorcycle?
No, no, a mountain bike.
Bicycle?
Yes,
Okay.
a bicycle. A bicycle made for two, minus one.
What kind is it?
Oh, shoot. What the hell was it? It's not Canon, but it's something like that. Something with a C. Candonado or something.
Yeah, there's a few different brands. I can't remember. I haven't bought one since I was a teenager. But back then,
Cannondale.
Cannondale. Okay, yeah, I've heard of them. Way
I mean,
back then, when I was a teenager, way back, way in the 90s.
when they were inventing bicycles.
Yeah. The Trek was the best. Well, it wasn't the best, but it was pretty good. It was like $1,000 mountain bike.
Yeah, I was looking at some Treks. That's the first shop I went to. They basically were like a Trek distributor. Like they didn't really have other stuff. Oh, I mean they had different types of bikes, but like mountain bikes, they had Trek. That was it. And those it started like the starting bike was like 300 and then it went up from there as you added more features and stuff.
Yeah. When I was like, I don't know, 14, my friend bought he bought an Elf and it was like $850 and it like blew my mind. I never knew bikes could cost that much. Just for some parent to go out and buy their kid an $850 BMX style bike was insane.
Right. Oh yeah, I worked with a kid who was big into BMX and he had I don't even know what brand or whatever, but it was like titanium frame and like all this crazy shit. Like you could pick his bike up with two fingers.
Yeah, that's what this kid's Elf bike was like. It was a BMX style bike, but it came with like these thin ass 10 speed style tires. And yeah, it was titanium frame. It was like 3 pound bike or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember he brought some of his bike parts in to work because we had a little like spray booth area for doing test panels or whatever. And anyways, we rigged up a little hangar and we he painted his frame and his handlebars and his like pedals and stuff. And then we put them in the oven and baked them. So he's got automotive quality base coat and clear coat on his bike.
Oh, he probably added like an ounce of paint to it, made it heavier.
Yeah, he might have, but that freaking it was sweet looking. Tinted clear coat and all that. It was nice.
Yeah. So my friend got that, and I saved up from like raking leaves and mowing lawns, washing cars, doing all kinds of shit. But I saved up like 500 bucks and got a Diamondback.
Oh, I used to have a Diamondback.
Yeah, it was nice. It was heavy. It wasn't like a fucking one of them lightweight bikes, but it had like these flip out pegs. It had crazy mag wheels and shit on it.
I had a Diamondback mountain bike. It wasn't a BMX bike. Maybe it was something else Diamond then. Now I'm thinking about it. But it was a mountain bike.
No, I think they did both. They made both.
I remember Mongoose was the shit. If you had a Mongoose BMX bike, you were like the coolest kid ever.
Yeah, and then they
Because they
started
came
selling.
with the gyro for the front handlebars, you know, like the little magnet thing, so that you could spin all the way around and not tangle up your
Yeah,
cables.
yeah. It like cuts the brakes so you can spin your handlebars. I had a Schwinn BMX with a red line uh, front, like the forks and the. I guess it was just the forks. I don't know what the handlebars were, but that was like a Franken bike. That was probably my favorite bike.
Yeah, this bike's pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't one of the crazy ones. It was a few hundred, but it's got like cool stuff. I don't know. I guess as a kid, like when I said mountain bike, I never even got like the fancy ones. It was just, that was the style. This one's got like the shocks on the front forks and disc brakes and I don't know, some crazy gear system that's supposed to be better than the other type. It seems to shift gears just fine, like normal. So I don't know what makes that so cool.
Is it the push
But it's like
button gears?
I don't know. They're just like little paddles. There's one on top and one on bottom, like to go
Oh,
up and
okay.
down.
Yeah.
But the guy at the bike shop was, I mean, he was one of these guys. He definitely seemed knowledgeable, and he was a straight talker. He shows like, we got this one, but you don't need to spend that much. That's dumb. People who buy that are crazy. So this one's a little bit better. You get a better, value and da da da. So he seemed excited about the thing. So I said, that must be good. It's like walking into a gun shop when you don't know what you want. You're gonna have the guys that'll be like, "Oh, you have to get this and this and this," and it's all the crazy stuff. And there's other people that are realistic and say, "Okay, you
Practical.
probably just need this." Don't buy a high point, but you don't need a freaking, whatever Sig. So that was exciting. Went for a little bike ride. We went about 5 miles, but it started raining. So we went back.
Yeah,
I think it was 5 miles round trip.
I want to buy a fold-up bike.
That would be pretty cool. It was kind of a pain trying to stick two bikes in the back of my Jeep. I mean, it's a Jeep Commander, it's an SUV, but still, it's a little pain in the ass. Robbie seems to really know his mountain bikes.
Yeah,
He's got a fancy pants custom.
that's probably fun to do. Just buy a bunch of parts and build your own bike, or assemble your own bike. They have mil spec bike parts.
Uh,
Is there a standard?
that was actually something we saw. There was a Schwinn, and like it was a bunch more than the other ones, and I was like, well, what the hell makes this so special? Like it was kind of weird looking or whatever. And the guy was saying that that was some like special edition, like military throwback kind of thing. Like supposedly it was like what similar to what the military bikes used to be.
Was it one? Did it look old?
Not really. I mean, it was definitely it was a new bike, and they didn't make it like look vintage, but I think they were like inspired by the old styling. Like it did have the big fenders and like the frame was kind of sweeping back and
Yeah, I've seen them. Were they like OD? Was it an OD green color or no?
it was actually like a grayish color.
I saw one in, where was it? Sports Authority. It might not have been the same thing, but it looked more like a bike they would ride back like in the 50s.
Yeah. Well, you got these hipsters that like that kind of crap.
I can't remember if it had one of them big old banana seats.
Mm. Oh yeah, that's something. I don't know if I just need to kind of get used to it or if maybe I don't know, I might need a new seat, but my
Yeah,
butt hurts.
They sell seats with that like like the gel pad that's on a mouse pad.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, they got seats like that.
It's it was just surprising. I've never, as a kid, I mean, I freaking, sit on a 2x4 and it wouldn't hurt my ass, but nowadays it does. So maybe that's my problem. No, the seats hurt your ass. Well, then how do we fix that, Robbie? Do they make seats that don't hurt? You would think with a mountain bike, you'd want an extra cushioning on the seat. You have suspension for the bike, but you're going over so many bumps and stuff.
You just keep riding it until your nutsack eventually falls off, and then everything's comfortable.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not the part that hurts. I mean, it's just like my actual butt.
Maybe you're sitting on it wrong. Maybe I'm sitting on it wrong.
I mean, you're supposed to take the seat part off and just sit on the little peg that sticks up, right? I mean, that's how you guys do it.
Then just clinch.
So, but yeah, it's cool to have a bike again. I probably haven't ridden a bike since I was like a teenager, honestly. Like when I got my car, I had no need for a bike anymore. I had one up north. I might ride it around like a couple times a year.
You remember the difference between a female's frame and a male's frame for bikes?
Of course.
Yeah, with the bar across,
I never understood it. I never understood why.
because boys are harder on their bikes, and that frame is
On
a
their bikes,
It's
sturdier
more endu-
design.
Is it?
and
Is
dicks
that
have
why?
dresses on so that way they're trusted and get all jammed up in a normal size
Uh,
bike.
well, I thought guys needed that swoop down too because the gooch pain when you go off jumps and miss the seat.
And that's why you got that little tiny ass pad that saves your nuts. A little knuckle pad.
Yeah, Huffy's had that. Mine usually like wore out and fell off pretty quickly.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll be getting a little healthier now, going on bike rides. Like I said, we went 5 miles. It didn't take very long. Like I wasn't tired or anything afterwards, so yeah, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to doing like a much longer ride. We have a street around here. It kind of curves around, or it kind of follows a river, but there's a nice, bike lane on it, and
River
it's this.
cool. Is there someplace I could park a van down by that river?
There certainly is.
I'll put a little pin in the map for that one.
Yeah, yeah. It runs from like almost Detroit out until I don't know how far out. I've never seen the west side of it actually. Never seen the end of it.
I'm pretty sure that's the only place you're allowed to park a van. Is down by the river. I bought this minutes ago.
Oh shit. Now you're in the big pocket of Big Chris.
Yeah. The
Why
cool
is
the cool thing is I was looking for a diamond head rear sight and I found out that Chris Vector sights use diamond head. They just put the Chris logo on it. So I got this for like $70 off the retail price of a diamond head just because it's a Chris sight. But it's the same thing. All steel. $55.
Wow,
Because
it's a good price.
I had a set of diamond heads and I used the rear for my BCM upper, and then I have an AR-15 that just has a front sight right now, and it's the diamond head front. So I needed a diamond head rear. I found that last night on the eBays.
Two more days, I get my AK. Well, I hope I can pick it up on Tuesday. It says that's when it should be shipped. I don't know if my FFL will be available Tuesday night. I can finally join the cool kids club.
Which one did you get? Do you have a link to like the exact one?
Yeah, I can find it. It's a DDI milled receiver, Hungarian parts kit, and Polish furniture. So it's a bit of a Frankenstein.
I'm getting raped on my Chiltons. $24.
What?
Used shitty one.
For that's ridiculous. A used Chilton's for an old van.
Yeah, 25 bucks. My cop car one was like 6.
I was gonna say they should be like $5. So I see you've been having a lot of van chats recently. I didn't watch that second one.
Well, I'm picking it up Tuesday, and then I'll be getting the parts in the mail. Yesterday we bought all the parts online, like all the distributor caps and spark plug wires and shit like that. So I'll be getting all that stuff Thursday. Then I'm going fishing 76 miles away to kind of test it out, and then come back for Mother's Day weekend there, and then Wednesday of that week I'm heading out on the tour. So if all goes according to plan, I'll be picking it up Tuesday, and then the Wednesday after that I'll be heading out for a 7,000 mile, 16 state, 6 gun show, countless gun shop, and then like 6 museum tour in my $500 van.
Mm, that's pretty sweet. So you kind of nailed down a little more itinerary. I remember
Yeah, I
doing
got the itinerary down now. I mean, there's room for some slop, and there's plenty of room to mosey, but I'll be leaving sometime that week after Mother's Day for a gun show in Houston, Texas on the 14th. And then the next weekend, I'll be in the NRA show. You're going down to that, right?
I hope so.
So
I'm registered for it. I'm
right
gonna
on.
try and.
So then I think Marco wants to do the booze tour and shit like that. And then the weekend after the NRA show, I'm going to Tulsa for a gun show. Then the weekend after that, I'm heading to Virginia. So I got a week to get across from Tulsa to Virginia. That might be a bit of a long one, but I've been through Kentucky and shit a million times. Anyway, so then I'm in Virginia by Girk, somewhere like that, for one weekend, the weekend after Tulsa, and then I spend the week there so I can look at the Smithsonian, the NRA Museum, and shit like that. That gives me time to work on the vehicle if I need to, do an oil change, that kind of shit. And then do the gun show that Marco always goes to in Washington, D.C. area the next weekend. So that's the weekend of the April 10th now. So then after that April 10th show, I'm heading north to
April? You might be a little late, buddy.
June 10th. So I'm in June 10th.
Yeah.
I'm there June 12th, I think. Then I'm heading up to New York to see that castle that I've been wanting to see. Then I head west from there through Pennsylvania. So that'll be like the 13th, 14th of June. And then right past you there, Dayton Air Museum, heading towards Illinois to see Krebs and the AK stuff up there, and then I'll try to hit a gun show in there possibly, but I don't know. I'm going to play that by ear, see how the van's doing, see how interest in all this is doing on the YouTube. Basically, this is all to try to perk some interest on the YouTube thing. If people want to see gun shops on YouTube, then it's a success, and if nobody gives a shit, and I'm just doing it all out of pocket, then it'll be a little bit different. So I'll kind of play it by ear as I'm passing by you guys up there, and then but basically head that way to see Krebs and stuff, and then head west, because this will be like the end of June, beginning of July. I'm going to stay heading west through Nebraska and then the top of Colorado, and then there's a gun show at the end of June in someplace, basically Denver, Colorado. I'll go to that and then book back up into Wyoming, assuming I can keep going after that. And I don't need to just head home from there. That'll be the beginning of July. Then I'll head up to Wyoming, museum up there, and then Salt Lake City, Browning Museum, hopefully do some tours of shit there, head down past Las Vegas, and then back to Tucson. And then depending on how fast I got a boogie or how long I can take to do that, I'll probably be getting home just in enough time to get some shit squared away here and kind of relieve the people that are watching the house kind of thing, because that'll be about 2 months on the road. And then kind of have to get ready to head towards the Gun Rights Policy Conference, and then I'll do more of a longer Texas tour, New Orleans, Florida, and then hang out in Florida, and then figure out how I'm going to come home from Florida. That'll be right around election time, so that might be more like getting the Every Second Matters thing going. And I'll have just been at the Gun Rights Policy Conference, so maybe we'll have the Every Second Matters thing working by then. So yeah, that's why I've been talking about the van, because I basically have to get a $500 van ready to do about 7,000 miles. But, what am I going to do? Not do that?
Yeah, the timing's a little bit off, but there's a gun show near me end of July, 23rd, 24th.
Well, let's say people are digging the gun shop reviews, because that's really part of the project, is to try to do some cool gun shop reviews to get people all stirred up about it and give some people something different on YouTube. Something that I would enjoy doing, and then, like I say, if that works and people are giving me some YouTube money, basically, if people start watching that and I get YouTube money coming in, that'll change the picture, because if I get enough YouTube money coming in, I'm doing other things while I'm in the van. One of the reasons I'm doing it in the van is so that I have an office with me all the time. I'll have my other laptop doing some of my other business things that I've got going on. And if I can keep them maintained, then really all I'm looking for out of the trip is to pay for gas. So if the YouTube thing kicks in at all, like what it used to be, then the gas will be paid for. And then I do the same tour, but I drop speed quite a bit. And then I might, in other words, I guess my one friend is in Indianapolis right now, and he's going home in sometime in June. So I'm sort of going to the NRA show and then picking up speed and hauling ass so that I can get back to Indiana before he leaves, so that I have a place to chill in Indiana. But if, like I say, the YouTube thing kicks in before then, and it seems like it's going to be worth my while to just enjoy the trip and see more gun shops, then I'll kick it back and do the same route, but like take 5 months instead of 2 months, because then I can really hit every gun shop, and then I have an opportunity to hit way more gun shows also. But it'll kind of depend on how fast the stuff I bring sells, and I don't know, there'll be some amount of hassle with getting patches shipped to wherever I happen to be, and if the patches are selling at gun shows, I basically have to pay for the tables at gun shows for them to not be a burden on the budget. So hopefully I can sell enough crap to cover my gas and pay for the tables at the various gun shows, and then it'll be kind of a wash. Then the trip will be being paid for by the gun shows. But that's a big ass if. I've been to 5 gun shows already, and I barely paid for the tables twice.
Maybe you could have the patches shipped to like one person every time. And
well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if I know I'm going to be at a
ship it to
gun show in a certain place, then like I'll find somebody who I know there, ship the patches to them, or I can even ship them to like a place, like a gun show thing or something, or some gun shop or something like that, and then just pick them up. But that's like I say, I got people watching the house, and then if I ask them to then do a bunch of errands and shit, that's just at some point I'd want to pay them for that, and not just bugging them.
Just buy him a pizza.
Yeah, I'll just buy a box of donuts once in a while.
Yeah.
I've been watching a hell of a lot of videos on the YouTube about how to live out of your van. There's tons of people that just live out of their vans now. Thing. So there's all kinds of tricks. Like getting a thing to a gym, a membership to a gym that's got what do you call it, franchise gym. Where there's locations all
Showers.
over the place. Yeah. So then you can park in their parking lots and just use their Wi-Fi and use their showers. I mean, that seems fucking great.
Yeah.
And go to a laundromat once in a while and wash clothes, and there ain't really much difference between that and being in a hotel, hopefully.
You
Except for
can
like that
use
year.
YMCA's too.
I'm afraid to. I'm not a gay dude. I don't want to like rape.
Most of them are just like a little gym, a pool, and a paddleball room, and that's about it.
Well, but that's the whole idea of the van, is that it saves me all that money. 'Cause as soon as I start paying for hanging out places, the budget is gone to shit. Because I'm basically doing it on a hell of a lot of assumptions. So I got to see what the gun shows start pulling in. Um, I'm out there to recon the gun shows and the venues and the audiences and the various people setting up, really. But at the same time, I'm hoping that there's at least a possibility that people like some of the shit I brought and some of that moves. And well, like I say, it depends on how much of that shit sells. And if I'm making money at the gun shows, that's a whole nother thing. Because then I'll just have to come home and pick up more shit, or have a bunch of shit shipped out to me or something. I don't know. But I can only bring. I'm only going to bring so much money worth of shit around with me, and only so much space worth of shit with me. But anyway, that's part of the reason I have the van, is to not have to be in a hotel. Because the other problem is if I go in a hotel, I'm either lugging in all my shit that I brought with to go to gun shows into the hotel with me, which is a pain in the ass, and then showing people I got a bunch of valuable shit, and then I'm risking it leaving in the hotel room if I go somewhere. If it's just in the van with me and I'm laying next to it when I'm sleeping, it can't be more secure. The only time that I'll be away from it is when I'm pooping in McDonald's or something.
Well, just be careful if you use the public library for Wi-Fi, because last time I was in court for a traffic ticket, there was a kid that had a thing for like drunk in public or something, and when the judge started reading off the file, he was basically passed out on the steps of the library waiting for his dad to pick him up, and he had a .3 alcohol level. The judge was like, "Holy shit! Why'd you get wasted at the library?" He's like, "I was using their Wi-Fi."
Well, the tips from these people that live out of their vans are to go to Starbucks, because I guess they usually have Google Internet, so it's like the fastest internet around, and it's free.
Yeah, McDonald's is slow. It sucks.
Yeah, just look at when Quark was trying to join the chats on McDonald's Wi-Fi. He was always breaking up and stuff.
Right. And then I've heard that Lowe's, hardware store, that their Wi-Fi is decent. And they're a lot of times next to a Walmart, and Walmart lets you sleep in their. They encourage people to sleep in their parking lots.
Yeah. You would
How,
think
how
like
often do you
Best
have to
Buy
move
had good
around though? Like
Wi-Fi.
you can't stay in a Walmart for like a week, right? You
No,
have to
it's
keep
actually
moving.
the opposite. They encourage people to stay there extended if they want to. They just ask that you don't leave a vehicle there extended. Like you're not supposed to leave it there unattended for a week, but they don't care how long you stay because they know that you're going inside and shopping there. But that's actually I'm giving credit now that I know about that like little subculture thing. They're sort of like a safe haven. Thing is, that's usually the super Walmarts, not all the Walmarts, because they have smaller ones now. And then um, they're not everywhere. We only found 3 of them or 4 of them along the way when me and Bob were going up to Colorado.
Are you gonna have a nice little like camp stove or something in there so you can, save money on food by just buying at grocery stores?
I'll be able to save money on food, yes, but I don't really need to cook. I'm more of like the raw vegan shit, so I can make do on rabbit food.
Now, are you like a straight actual vegan, or do you still eat meat sometimes?
Yeah, pretty much both. But the main thing is I'm not making it into a camper, so I'm not looking to like set up like a stove and a shitter and a sink and refrigerators and all that. It's mostly just a pickup truck van, but I'm just going to happen to use it as my cheap ass living arrangement for this trip.
Right. Yeah, I was just curious about food because I know that eating out every night is very expensive.
Hell yeah, that usually has killed me in the past on road trips. It even killed me with fucking Bob. But that's going to be a nice thing about having not Bob. Yeah, one of the things that's going to be nice about not traveling with Bob or anybody else really is that I don't need to eat out. I don't eat out very much at all. So I ended up eating out with Bob just to be polite, kind of thing, since he was kind of thing. But I spent like $190 eating out with Bob on the fucking Colorado trip. Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, 200 bucks can buy you 2 months worth of grocery store food.
Yeah,
I could
exactly.
buy like I could eat for dinner, I guess, like just a can of soup, a can
Yeah.
of cheap soup, like the
And that's the
60
thing. I'm
cents
not
one.
looking to go on a luxury vacation here. I'm basically trying to sell off a bunch of my parts kits and like my Chinese ammo and shit that is impossible to sell on eBay because I would get raped. I'll just have to sell it for whatever because no one can actually see it. This way, I'll be able to sell it at my leisure. I'll put a decent price on them and let people finger fuck them. And somebody who actually knows what I've got, real barreled old parts kits, I'll get a premium for them. I'll get more than I'll ever make anywhere else. And same thing with my Chinese ammo and shit. I can't even hardly ship that, so it's better to be face to face. So I think between that and the cards and the patches, I should be able to uh, make the gun shows bring in enough money to pay for the gas. I only have to make about $2,000 to pay for all the gas. The little shit's gonna add up, like trying to put solar panels on it, and like I don't think about the insurance. There's an extra $40 a month for insurance or something.
It's pretty cool, man. I like your little adventure. I've always wanted to do something like that. Just kind of hit the road, not really know exactly where I'm going, just a general direction, and
Yeah, I'm gonna do that when all my kids are gone out of the house.
There's this one
Kick them
line
out.
of thinking that I've seen that's like that a lot of people think that, but then on the other hand, if you just do it with the kids, then the kids get the adventure and all that. And well, most of these things are saying most of the people that do it, I don't think they really have much to gain from encouraging people to do it, but they're just sharing their experiences, and they're all like, the hardest thing is getting out the fucking door. Once you're out doing it, you adapt really fucking fast, and you figure out a bunch of shit, and it just becomes a way of life kind of thing. But these are also people that are living this way, like
I
straight from
agree. I
Canada.
agree with that to an extent because I've taken my kids on like multiple day road trips from here to Virginia and to Florida, and it's fun and it gives them a lot of experiences, a lot of different. They get to experience a lot of different people and places, but it wouldn't be something I would do for like months at a time or anything like that.
yeah. And I've always found when you're on like a set vacation, even if you're using the car to get there, so it is a road trip, you're still like fighting the clock to get to certain places, and then you got to do all the stuff because there's not enough time. And I hate
Yeah, I
rushing
hate
on
that.
vacation.
I hate that too.
Just I want to freaking sleep in one day. Maybe the next day I'll get up early and do some shit.
Yeah, the
Maybe I'll wait around. I don't know.
Like
last
just
time
living
I
in
went
the
to
Jersey or something, and then just heading east or south or whatever, and then just driving until you get sick of it, see something that looks interesting, check it out on the map, and then stop, kind of thing.
yeah, like kind of discover shit on your own. So last time I went to Virginia, my girlfriend's friend had like this itinerary all planned out, and I didn't go to half the shit they went to.
When I was
They
a
were like
kid,
going to like candle shows at 9 o'clock in the morning down some colonial place. I don't know. It was
Oh, you
just.
skipped candle making? Oh, you missed out.
I've already done that in Pennsylvania.
You saying you dipped your wick in Pennsylvania?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we did a road trip where I just basically got in the van. We knew, or the truck, we just knew kind of which way we wanted to go, and then just spent about 2 months or something driving a big circle around the country. So we ate out at Denny's way too fucking much. Ended up having to cut like basically the last quarter of the trip off because we ran out of money.
It's my dad did a trip when he graduated high school. Him, his brother, and their friend. They had a truck with a camper in the back, like
Yeah, I
a
did
like a
a Ford Ranger with a cap on it. Are you talking like the bigger camper that like literally gives you a place to cook and has a pooper in
yeah,
it?
it's like an actual like camper top thing that fits in the bed of a truck.
Yeah, those are pretty handy because you can always drop them if you need to. You can still park anywhere.
Yeah, but they took off right, like I said, it was right after high school, and he packed up all his crap and told his mom like, don't know where I'm going, don't know when I'll be back, if I'll be back, see you later. And they would go from town to town and maybe get a little like handyman job for a little money, work at a
Did you say a
restaurant as a
hand job
busboy
for
for a
money?
week.
Yeah, shit. People give them a hand job and then they get money. That sounds like fucking life. Man.
Dang,
I'm on the road for that shit.
you got it.
Rich.
I meant fixing things, but whatever. And they went out west. They got pretty far, but their one friend, he's actually in a wheelchair. He got a real bad infection, and so they ended up driving like straight home from Reno. So Reno to Detroit, like just 24 hours a day driving home. And then the plan was to get him better, then they'd head back out again. But by that time, they had found a little more permanent jobs, and they kind of settled in and everything, and they just stayed here.
Well, I don't think I want to go live on the road necessarily, but there's definitely a lot of good tips from these guys that are doing it. Guys and girls. Bunch of chicks doing it. It's crazy.
All right, DTF chicks.
What?
Mhm.
DTF chicks.
Shit, these solar panels look fucking wicked. $200 a pop though. So I'm thinking you'd put a ladder rack on top. You know how those are kind of up off the top of the roof?
Yeah.
Then these solar panels are like $200 and they just kind of glue to the top of the actual roof. So they'd be under the roof rack. And then two of them will power a deep cycle battery, like a boat battery. And that's enough to run all the laptops, I think, and everything. Still be able to throw a canoe up on top of it or something.
Oh, you know what? That's what I gotta do. Do do do. I need to give away another AK Pro patch. I know it's late, but I said I would pick one for Instagram.
Is it even April anymore?
Still the Makarov. Makarov. Oh, this guy had like totally cool setup going, and then he just took all his wires and like white duct taped them to the top of his roof. Until he cheesed it at the end. He had a really cool setup until then.
You should have got an ice cream truck.
Yeah, panel van.
Then you can keep it like, you can keep stuff cold, I guess. I don't know. You
Carry
kind
on
of get.
around a deep freezer all the time. Actually, that would be a whole nother thing. Just set up like a food truck or something like that, and then go to gun shows and hook up with the promoters and just sit up out front. Give them a cutty or a take.
That would be sweet.
Except I would set up a vegan food truck, a bunch of raw vegan shit. It'd be like, oh, I'm not making any money for some reason. Something's wrong. Must not have good advertising.
Mm. And yet the guy down the way with the deep fried Twinkies is just, ranking in the money.
The deer jerky. You're in between the deer jerky and the deep fried Twinkies.
And the GMO-filled gluten fried nuggets.
I would buy them. I think I bought them the other night. They were
Expensive.
broccoli bites.
What?
I thought broccoli bites. Back when I was a kid, I used to buy them, and they were like, it was just like breaded broccoli. And I bought them the other day, and they were just like these cheese-filled, gluten-coated things with little tiny specks of broccoli in it. They were just like poppers with broccoli in it.
I think DB thinks that my $500 van isn't gonna do 7,000 miles.
All right, we got to pick a cool 8 April picture.
The van's supposed to last 400,000, so should be fine.
All right. So that's the start of 8 April.
I should still win for mine.
Which one was yours?
I have two of them.
Actually, I saw this earlier. This was pretty cool. Little tricky editing. He made it look like full auto by just editing it together. I thought that was neat.
So you're just picking one randomly?
Well, I'm trying to pick a cool one,
So you're gonna need
and probably one that doesn't already have a patch in it.
Is this one with the scope on it? Is that
It's pretty neat looking.
Polecats has a scope on it. It's Wasser.
That is a pretty awesome picture.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that app's pretty cool, but I don't want to overdo it. I could probably redo all my pictures with that somehow.
You got a tactical mall ninja one.
Oh, I hate that stock. It's an ATI. I had it for my Wasser 10. See how far it extends before it folds? On the back of the receiver? Yeah. I hated that.
Boy, this one's really cool.
Break the panel. Okay, here's all 4 panels installed. I left plastic on the last one to show.
Is that what a van a van dweller sounds like? Was that nothing fancy?
I haven't watched any of them Nothing Fancy videos yet.
It's crazy, dude. He's like, check out the van. Check out the van. And then he opens the door and you see this woman and she's duct taped up. She's covered with Keltec guns.
Anthony and I are.
I'm watching Nothing Fancy right now.
DB, have you seen any of those Colt competitions in the stores?
Yeah.
You see the front sight is a blue fiber optic?
Yeah. Easily changed, though.
I'll keep it. I want one.
The grips are blue G10.
Yeah.
So.
It matches. But it's
I mean,
only
the fucking price
$850.
is yeah, exactly. $800. But the only thing the only, to me, downside is I could see where they cut corners was the finish.
Yeah.
It's like a parked.
Yeah.
If it was blued, it would be like another $100. But I see the XSE, just regular Series 80, but with all the cool shit like front serrations and the beaver tail and stuff. Those are $800 and something now too. Those used to be $1,100. So, but they have the nice bluing if you want it.
Yeah,
All
I'll have to
right.
check it out.
I think I got it narrowed down between this one, just nice classic look to it, and I really like this video.
Get in the van. Get in the van.
I need to watch it on my phone to get the full effect.
What video is that? Some douchebag with an AK? The enemy's weapon?
Fucking Instagrams.
Fucking guys worshiping the enemy?
Actually, I like this. I like this picture too.
Bunch of fucking ISIS supporters.
Bringing a gun with a Bulgarian mag and a Russian.
Actually, I think
Doesn't
this is
he-
maybe
yeah,
this better picture.
Doesn't he know that weapon of war is clashing?
Needs to get them seersucker pants.
He never went to weapons of war fashion school?
Oh, the video has no sound? Oh, it does have sound.
That video has no class.
Okay, so DB doesn't like the video, so
It's
we
funny.
got.
I started the video and my big speaker, it was Bluetooth to my big speaker out in the living room, and I just did a bunch of gunshots out in the living room.
Now the police are coming, probably.
My kid probably scared one of my kids.
Post-traumatic chat syndrome.
So we got this one.
What is that?
Yes.
You trying to give a patch to one of these fucktards?
Yeah,
Oh.
you're not winning one. Fuck you.
I won. You know what's funny? I win shit and no one sends me shit. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, I won't come to your fucking house in a van. I'll come to your house in a van too.
Yeah, in front of there. You can give
Just
me.
send me my shit.
You can send your manservant down to, or send one of them little dogs down to fetch whatever.
That's true.
You send tons of shit. The
No, not you, but I mean these guys, these newbies. They're like, oh yeah, DB want a patch, and it's like fucking never. No one sends me shit.
well, the
Pink
ones,
Panther sent me some shit.
Do you fill out the thing?
yeah, what are you talking about?
The 4473.
Yeah,
Yeah,
For a
you need
patch?
4473 for a patch.
I don't need that shit.
You gotta go to DPG and fill out the DPG.
Dog Pound Gangsters. I
Hatch.
love them. Who was better, Corrupt or Daz?
4473.
No, I'm good. I'm good on that. Who was a better rapper, Daz or Corrupt? DPG. You know you love them, man. You had to love Dog. You had to love Dog Pound, dude.
Corrupt.
Corrupt was the shit. Everyone was copying him, man. I swear, I think he started an entire like style that everyone was copying. I'm watching Nothing Fancy right now. Do this fucking video about the Springfield Armory M1A, and I can't get over like the first 5 minutes where he's like, "Yeah, sure, they're cast. Yeah, sure, they're made in Canada. Yeah, sure, they're fantastic." And it's like, what? They're made in Canada? Are you fucking in their cast? Oh man, I wanted one so bad.
Yeah, me too. I seen a couple of them where people sent them back because they couldn't zero them with the sites the way they got them, and then Springfield sent them back to them with the whole site like slid like halfway out of the dovetail.
Oh Jesus!
Just to be zeroed. Fuck that.
This is crazy. I mean, I wouldn't be acceptable either. But this is a video he just put out like a day or two ago. They better get their shit together. This guy said, only douchebags and corporate assholes wear Brooks Brothers. I wear Brooks Brothers shirts because they're the only seersucker shirts this year or last year. Like, Polo ain't having none. Nobody had none. Yeah, people are trying to, you know what? I talked to Dead Horse, and he said because you bought the CZP 07 in gray, he bought the Diamondback 9mm full-size gun in gray.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Did you post a picture yet?
No, but he spent almost $300 on it.
I was gonna buy one off Ralph. Well, for a minute, he had them for $2.99, I think.
Yeah, he said they were like the shit.
But they only came with one mag, and he had no extras and no way of getting extras. So I was like, fuck that.
No, even Diamondback has no way of getting extra mag.
But I seen a video where you can modify M9 mags, like cheap Mech-R M9 mags, to work with the DB9.
I just don't know. I don't understand the point of it, especially when, you know, you're trying to save money. So, but if you can buy a brand new Smith & Wesson M&P for like $3.90, I don't understand.
Well, guys, I'm gonna get going. I don't know. Should I shut it down or just let it run for 8 hours? Because I'm not gonna be home for a while.
Charles' show starts here right now.
Oh, okay. Then I'll shut it down. Everyone go watch Liberty Freedom or whatever. Liberty Watch Radio. So, sorry guys. Sorry to cut you short, but I'm out of here. See ya.
He's outside.